And here is it, mga kapatid. Come, let's eat. This is my hubby's specialty, the carbonara. Look at the crispy bacon on top and then the cheese. Come, let's eat, mga kapatid.
Half a diced onion, 3 cloves of garlic, finely chopped, not crushed, not blended, keep them nice and hot, keep the flavour. Don't want to overpower the pork, so no chilies, no ginger, one of those powerful spices tonight. Yeah, we can make those a little bit browner, but we won't. We'll leave it like that. What I want to do now is add the cubes of pork tenderloin and a few slices of sweet bacon, marinated in a bit of soy sauce, a bit of fish sauce, a bit of Worcester sauce. Vinegar, tiny enough. Try these off now. Salt in the fish sauce and soy sauce, but we don't put salt in there. But we're going to add a bit of pepper. Also put a little bit of paprika in there. Marinate just to add a bit more smokiness. But you hear now, you can smell the bacon is actually quite smoky, so it's lovely.
Beautiful.
Moving it around. Okay, let it stick. What we're trying to do is seal it. We're not trying to cook it at the moment. We're just trying to seal all the flavour in the meat. So when it starts going this colour rather than the raw, that's what we're looking for. Take the bacon. You find a lot of water in bacon these days, unfortunately. Make sure the water gets steamed out. Pretty much sort of sealed. Don't want to brown it off too much. We're just trying to seal it. It's now quite warm. We've had the boiling water in it. Don't leave that heavy. Not going to use any stock because the flavour's already in the marinade. What we will do now is just start adding a bit of cream. It's getting quite a creamy thing. There's no ketchup, no redness. It's going to be quite a white sauce, which is what we're looking for. A bit at a time, just to make it warm it through.
That's the cooking cream.
This is cooking cream, yeah. Okay, when that starts getting warm and bubbly, add a little bit more. Don't pour it all in at the same time. Oh, I said earlier, hot to hot, not cold to cold. And this is the sort of colour I'm looking for. carbonara colour. Creamy. This is just getting the meat started, and we'll put this in the oven and simmer, and then we'll add mushrooms and a bit of green capsicum, anything really, just to add a bit more colour, a bit more taste. But this is just early preparation. Make it nice and creamy. A lot of this will evaporate and thicken. So make it. And now I'm not going to cook it on the top. I'm going to cook it in the oven. So I'll set the oven at 180. I'm going to cook it for about 1 hour. So I'm going to transfer it to just a casserole pot. Make sure everything's sort of covered. You can always add some cream later on if it starts thickening too much. Top on. In the oven for 1 hour, which gives you 1 hour. So this has been in about 40 minutes now. Give that a little bit of a whirl. You see the bacon, and the beef is fairly tender, really good. And what we'll do now is textures and flavorings. So just now we'll put the mushrooms in. The important thing about cooking is knowing how long things cook. You don't put fast cooking items in first. Meat takes longer than most, so we'll just stir the mushrooms in, and I'll put some, a splash you do.
Just a bit.
What happens is the mushrooms will absorb, but then also. And that's looking fairly thick, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put a little bit more cream in there. Although that thickness is something nice when you start mixing it with the pasta. This is just to help it cook along. See how liquid it was before and how it thickens up. And we're getting there. So now, that was just 40 minutes. I'll just add the mushrooms now for another 10, and then what I'm also going to do is add a capsicum for a bit of flavour, but I want that to stay fairly crisp, so I don't want to add it in and turn it into a soup. So that's that. And we whack it in the oven now for another 10-20 minutes. No rush to cook. Enjoy. What we're doing here is just frying the last bits of the streaky bacon, because we'll make it very, very crispy. And then we'll cut a few pieces up to sprinkle on the top. We'll leave some full just going on top. It's not part of the meal really, but just adds a bit to the presentation. Again, beautiful smoky. Sort of getting lovely brown and crispy, and it's quite easy with streaky bacon to get this. Bacon, of course, pork bacon. I live in parts of the world where you get beef bacon, and in fact this weekend I had turkey bacon. I'd love to see the size of a turkey that I got bacon from. But anyway, all for good reasons. And again, your choice. How crispy do you want it? How soft do you want it? With the preferences. This I'm going to cut into very small pieces and sprinkle on the top when we're finished. And curl. Obviously don't make it black and burnt, but most certainly crispy bacon, and you see the middle bits get done quicker. And look at all that fat now, look at the size of the bacon. All I'm saying is that it's pretty well done. So we'll just take it off the heat and you put it on some kitchen towel, get rid of the thing, and quite happy, let it go cold, it doesn't matter.
And that's the pasta.
Yeah, pasta, water, salt, a little bit of olive oil to stop it sticking together. Some people say it's not necessary. So the mushrooms are in there now, sort of cooked through, but still in shape. And no need for this. This is just my preference. A little bit of green capsicum. Red would probably be better, but availability. And I want to keep those crisps. I don't want them to cook and dissolve. So what we do, we just put those in like that, and literally the heat from the dish will actually cook those. So I'm not going to put this back in the oven now. I'm just going to put the top on it and let it cook in its own heat. Unlike meat, pasta doubles in size when you cook it. I see so many people cook spaghetti for 2 people and end up cooking it for 10. What I tend to do is put a bit of oil in there to keep it separated, and then just a sprinkle of oregano, I've caught that. Just makes it a little bit Italian, and it adds a bit of flavour. I'm not putting that into the main piece. And what you need to do now is make sure all that steam disappears. Okay, it's still cooking. It's still got a tremendous amount of residual heat there, so we just leave that again on the side. That's ready to serve. Time, the most important part of any meal, presentation. When your eyes see the food, immediately you start to taste it. So it's very important to present it well. In this particular case, it's quite simple. We just put the pasta, half the pasta, 2 plates, hot plates. Do not serve food on cold plates. What a waste of good cooking. It goes cold, it becomes tasteless, and you lose all the flavors. So there is your pasta. Then that lovely carbonara that we made, we'll just pour that onto the top. And that's your pork tenderloin, streaky bacon, cooked in cream with the onions, and then a little bit of extra, as you see, green peppers. Your choice, add anything you want, it's easy. And then we did that crispy bacon. We'll just sprinkle a few bits of crispy bacon. Each one, nothing special. We'll put a couple of tomatoes around the side. That's the colour. Italian, so let's also just sprinkle a bit of Parmesan on the top, and that will melt. Parmesan, very hard, salty cheese. as you probably know. And then pinch of oregano. If you're American, oregano, or whatever they say. There you have it. Carbonara.
And here is it, mga kapatid. Come, let's eat. This is my hubby's specialty, the carbonara. Look at the crispy bacon on top and then the cheese. Come, let's eat, mga kapatid. Of course, with white wine. Tara, kain tayo.